All right. Godfather of Soul. No, that's James Brown. Oh, you're live?
You're real strong opener. Way to go.
All right. Well, except they promised me smoke.
Let's get you smoking later.
They were supposed to be smoking lasers. I was waiting for it. I guess that was just all in my head. Anyways, welcome to OnSet. I'm Daniel Norton. Today we are talking about using LEDs and flash. I've got Marissa over here as our lovely model. Sets on the mighty mix. And like once a year or so, I do this demo so that I can kind of test it myself. But, you know, it used to be people would come in, and this is when LEDs were like $500 for like a little tiny panel. And somebody will have told them, oh, I just do it with an LED, right? And it was always like, well, it's not feasible, right? They're good for some things, but they're not good for everything. Over the years, so I've been doing this for a while now, they've gotten better. The color's gotten better. They've gotten cheaper for what you get. They've gotten more powerful. So why do we still lean on flash? Is it because that's just what we've been using all along? Is it because somehow that's just what we know? Or is there a reason that we definitely go that way? And where do LEDs fit into kind of our workflow, right? Because I've always been the kind of person that used whatever worked for the job, right? I'm not a brand guy with like some brand that on my shirt. I'm not like, I'll use this because it's trendy. I use what works for the job. If a regular light bulb works, I'll use it. If an LED works, I'll use it. If a flash works, I use it. And what we're gonna do today is kind of walk through some of the things that I think are kind of innovative and interesting in the LED space, for me anyways, and then we're gonna talk about why I still use flash or when I would still use flash. So ask questions, we'll kind of roll through this, we'll take some pictures along the way as we usually do, and yeah, let's go. So something a little different today. I'm using a different lens, I know. So everybody always asks what gear I'm using. This is a Manfrotto tripod. It's a 0.55. This is a Nikon Z6ii, but today I'm using a 50mm 1.8. I normally use a zoom lens for these demos because it's just simple to use a zoom lens. It's like a good versatile lens. But I'm using this lens here specifically because since we're using a constant light source, I'm going to want to play with more wide open apertures because the amount of power we're going to have from it. I already think, right? And I've never used this particular thing. Joe set it up for me, Joe over here in the store. I don't think this is going to be able to get to the f-stops and stuff that we normally use, all things equal. But we'll see. So let's get it going. Okay, so this is a Godox no LED F800. They write it right on it so I can read it. Oh, you stand behind it. It says on the back too. It does actually, yeah, F800R. So this is a panel of LEDs, 4 feet panel, and it's got a little cushion on the front for diffusion. This is a RGBW light, which is, so those are two things, panel plus RGBW, that I really find to be strong selling points for LEDs today, right? WWE. Oh, there's W, it's got WW. Yeah, so this is not a toy. I mean, this is a fairly expensive professional level light, and we are able to get cleaner whites with it. We're able to get color, whatever kind of color we want, and without, you know, right at the unit. I don't have to like put gels on it. I don't have to put any kind of special thing. This thing can just be different colors or match a color that I need it to match. Additionally, it's a panel, right? So it's super thin. In fact, this thing folds up into a smaller package, right? You don't have to carry it around, but we can see how thin this is. Now, if you imagine, because you've probably seen me use 4-foot octagons and softboxes and stuff, what we get is depth, right? Because in order to put the strobe into the box and then shoot it forward, we're basically having to have space inside. If I put my strobe right up against a 4-foot panel, I'll just get this much light, right? It won't spread out. So because we're talking about a bunch of individual LEDs, we're talking about a bunch of small point sources spread out over the course of a panel, but then being diffused to create one larger source. So this is something we can put in a very small space. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you've watched any other demos here, this is a small space apparently. All right, so we're gonna use this to take some shots. Oh. Boy, it's not light. All right, so we're gonna fire this thing up and we're just gonna kind of work. Now, I think we'll work backwards from how I normally do it. Usually, if you've seen these demos before, I try to eliminate all light in the space, right, first, so we can see what our lights are doing. So let's see if we do that. Let's just set ourselves up with that kind of situation here. Because this is where I'm the most curious. Like, where are we at power-wise? I think that's generally going to be, yeah, eventually we'll kill the light. Well, maybe not. We'll see how bright this thing is. We'll see if we can blind Marissa.
They're calling it the air mattress panel.
Air mattress panel. I like it. All right, so what we're going to do first, and this is what we normally do when we shoot flash, but I'm going to start this way with the LEDs. We want to set our camera so that none of the light in the space is affecting our shot. Now, again, we're in a pretty bright space. I can talk. Pretty bright space, as everybody knows who's here. Seth spent hours, he told you all about it, up and down a ladder, breaking his leg. He's getting old. All this other stuff.
First of all, I did this 5 minutes before you went live. Don't even.
5 minutes before I went live, Seth built this. There was actually part of the store. The event space didn't even exist. All the TVs, the wiring, the heating system. No, so anyways, Seth lit this space beautifully. I'm standing in a set, obviously, so it's pretty bright here. We're going to set our camera to try to get rid of all the light in the space. So we normally do that by setting at the fastest shutter speed that flash syncs with. And again, I know I'm not shooting flash, but I'm just doing what I normally do. The lowest ISO within the normal range, which is 100. So that's 200th of a second, 100. Then we set our f-stop. So we get to a place where basically we get a black frame. So it's f8 is where I'm at right now. So if you're new here and you're wondering why am I doing this with an LED, it'll all make sense maybe.
If you're lucky.
Right, so we have this black frame, right? And again, we can look here and see how underexposed we are. So one of the true advantages to flash is, that's about 3 stops. One of the true advantages to flash is that generally speaking, if your flash, in most cases, even a very small flash, is powerful enough to allow you to control the light in the space. You can bring it into somebody's office that has terrible fluorescent lights. You can bring it out, let's say in their home and you want to change the environment and the field look different. You can light it in the studio in the dark. You can overcome any light that you're faced with for the most part. Not the sun, really. There's only one light that can overpower the sun, but we won't talk about that today. All right, so now with all that being said, none of the light in the space is affecting our shot. We took a black frame. If we turn this thing up, so I'm about to blind everybody here. I do apologize. Why is it stuck? I'm trying to break anything today.
Those have posts on.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Those are the good ones.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So we've got our panel here. Marissa, could you throw that sandbag on there? The sandbag police were about to come, so we took care of that. Always put the sandbag on the big leg. Make sure the weight's going out.
No round of applause for Marissa.
They used to her doing sandbags.
No charge.
That's right.
No charge.
All right, so we're firing this guy up. So again, I can control this in many different ways. I can set the color temperature. So I'm setting the color temperature now to 5,000 Kelvin, which is basically what my camera's set at. Okay, that's why I'm doing that. Because that's where I like it when I shoot flash. I'm at 24% power, so I'm about to blind everybody. So let's just bring this thing up and let's see what we can do.
They're asking if it doubles as a LARP shield.
Okay, we're at 100%. Now, if I make an image here, are we going to get, I know it's bright, are we going to get an image of Marissa? Yeah, we do actually, right? That's not too bad. But that is f8, 200th of a second, 100 ISO. That's not terrible when you think about the exposure. It's a little, I'm saying it's a little bit underexposed, but it's not a lot underexposed. I'd say the right exposure is somewhere around there. We're only about a stop under, right? So this is a very powerful light. If you were in somebody's home without natural light coming through the windows, if you were in some executive's office, you probably could overpower the light with this. However, for those who were here, and maybe those at home where their screens got turned completely white when I turn it on, it's probably not going to be the most pleasant thing in the world to have such a bright light constantly pouring down on you. So you need to kind of keep that in mind. Sometimes people will talk about the idea of flashes bothering people, but you've got to kind of weigh against the idea of that much brightness versus, versus a flash going off occasionally. And again, that comes down to your personal taste, subject to the people you're working with. Nobody saw anything. But that's pretty impressive. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. But let's actually start using this thing in a way that we might actually use it. I'm not going to worry about this F8 anymore, or this trying to eliminate all the light in space, because I'm going to have Seth turn the lights off so we don't have to be ridiculous. But I just wanted to get going, because that is one thing that, for me, when I'm testing something like this, that's what I want to know. How much juice can I get out of this thing? If I'm in my studio, because I have a daylight studio, right, and I'm sitting there recording myself, as I often do I have enough light to balance out the windows, or am I just doing nothing, right? Am I giving myself a catch light for $3,000? I would say this is pretty darn bright. Like, I feel like I can get a decent exposure. All right, so for some reason the cameras, I'm also using a, come closer to me, Marissa. Even more so. Good, okay. All right, I'm gonna do this. Okay. I'm just gonna frame it up here. I got a 50mm lens on here, which is a little different than what I normally have, like I said. So let's forget about the fact that we're trying to eliminate the light in the space. Because like I said, I'm gonna have Seth turn these down in a second. And let's put this on somewhere reasonable. If I'm gonna make a portrait of somebody, I generally want my shutter speed. Now remember, it's not a flash, so we're not gonna freeze action with the flash duration. Shutter speed is the speed that we're using. Somebody, 200th of a second, 125 even with a 50mm lens is plenty for stopping somebody if they're not gonna be emoting crazy. So let's just leave it at 200. And let's just drop our ISO down. Everybody loves shooting wide open. But I find that 3.2, no, I don't know. What's a good weird aperture? 2.5? Who shoots a 2.5? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
All right, 2.5. No, so this is a 1.8 lens. When you're shooting with any kind of lens, especially one that's like, this is a 1.8 lens. This is not the highest end lens that Nikon makes. Generally, it's a good idea if you want to be sharp to stop down half stop to a stop. So I'm gonna roll back and shoot it like about 2.5, which is a stop. That's why I'm doing it. I'm joking about it, but that's why I'm doing that. It's gonna get real bright for a second. All right, let's turn you down. Now, what's kind of fun about this is we can just kind of look here. Yeah, that's off. That's the actual exposure. Okay. When I'm shooting with
Oh, let's do the live one.
yeah, let's do a live view.
They're asking if that's the 1.8S lens or.
This is a 1.8S lens. Yes, S for special.
Just making sure.
Whenever I buy into a new system, I buy a 51.8 just so I have one. So I hardly ever use this lens, but I have used it. It's pretty decent. Okay, so we can see our exposure. Now, unlike when we've done this before, if you've been around before with the flash, this isn't like a fake exposure here, right? This is the actual exposure that we're getting through the lens. Yeah. So we can see that it's a smidge dark. So I'm just going to turn up the light a little bit. So at this pretty reasonable, oh, actually, Seth, can you kill the lights now?
You want all out?
Anything that's hitting her. That should be enough, right? Yeah, that way we can get a little shape to her face and stuff. Okay. There we go. Yes, we just have that one on me. This is my light. So if I want to do like a monologue or something, I can. All right. We have this nice soft light. It's soft. Why is it soft, Eric? Because it's big. That's correct. The hardness and softness of the light is based on the size of the source relative to the subject. We're shooting Marissa's head and shoulders. Marissa, though she does have a fairly large head, is not a 4 foot. Her head is not 4 feet. As people can attest that see her in person. She would have a hard time getting a hat, that's right. All right, so basically we've got, move this in a little bit closer. Oh yeah, that doesn't look that bad. That looks kind of nice, right? No, that's not bad. That's not terrible. So, what do you think I'm at here? What's my power setting? So let's get a guess. Do we have a guess? What's the power setting? Somebody shout out a number. What's that?
60?
60%. No, 10%.
Walk to it from the background.
Okay, we're gonna have Marissa do a little like runway show, like this. So go to the backdrop and then like walk forward like a.
Focus.
Oh, she's not in focus?
No, you're not. You have to focus while she moves.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, go ahead. And action.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Oh yeah, it followed you. Boom. So, all right, so what Seth's demonstrating here, or Marissa is demonstrating, is basically the inverse square law based on fall off. Like if we look at Marissa's face and how it's being shaped, With the light, when she's closer to the light, we're getting more rapid fall off. We're getting more shape to the face. If she backs up, the light is going to fall off slower because she's further away from it, right? At least that's why I think he asked me to. Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty good. The color in the live view, it looks a little flat. So let me take a photo. That's 10% power, by the way. That's not too bad. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a 4-foot light at 2.5, right? So we're 2.5 is our aperture, 100 ISO, right? And we are 200th of a second, which is plenty of shutter speed to freeze her if she's just kind of posing normally, right? So if you're in a space where, I mean, you're all here, right? Not you, but you guys are. And this is probably not much brighter in here now than, let's say, somebody's home. It's probably darker than, let's say, an office, right? But at 10%, we're able to basically overpower or get a good clean light in here, because if I turn this off, you know, we've got this black frame, right? So this is a pretty decent, let's see where our shadows are. I know it's dark. Give me a second. Okay, so yeah, we're about a stop and a half under. So we're not quite like overpowering as much as I'd like to, but it's clean, you know? It's pretty good. And that's nice, right? We can come in here and we can basically take this panel, set it up. It is 4 feet. It's not hot, right, Marissa? Right. Yeah, it's not warm. It is, you know, it's not a hot light. And we can basically bring this in, and because the light source is so large, it wraps around beautifully. It gives us a nice soft light, and we are able to create and shape the light pretty nicely and pretty easily. You have the what you see is what you get, right? The color, it looks good to me. Again, I'm set at 5,000. I might, and so is the light. So when I look at Marissa, yeah, that's what she looks like, you know? I mean, it seems pretty color accurate. This is great, right? This is 1,000 times better than LEDs were like 5 years ago. I mean, it's like ridiculous.
Let's do a board on the other side. She's got all that giant solar.
Okay, so right, so we can actually shape the light a little bit. I was going to use another LED, but we'll do it this way first. Go ahead. Okay, so why are LEDs better now than 5 years ago? Better color, more power, cheaper, right? Everything that we know about LEDs, all the inexpensive LEDs where it used to be like, oh, $200 for an LED, that's garbage. Now we're finding even small, inexpensive LEDs. This is not $200, but this is a pro level LED. When we're getting into LEDs that used to cost $5,000, $6,000 that we'd be at full power and not light this up, right? So we're getting better color retention, and we're getting better overall just quality of the lights, you know. Okay, so just kind of round out the shot. Thank you for that question. Right, there used to be all kinds of color spectrum issues. I mean, there's tons of problems with LEDs. And it's, you know, and again, I'm one of these people that in the early days was like, LEDs are very specifically for somebody that just wants to do some quick video. It's not really something that we're going to use that much in photography, you know. And once again, eating my words, you know, some 15 years later or whatever, because technology keeps motoring on, right? But, and when we look at this is a beautifully captured image, right? But we also know that if I wanted to shoot at f8, I would have to crank this light to full power. It would be uncomfortable for my subject, right? So when we think about it, there's a trade-off, right? If I'm shooting this wide open, pretty portrait, single person, simple, right? If I want to go deeper depth of field or I need more power, that's where we're still gonna have a failure point compared to flash, which I'll talk about in a second.
Excuse me,
Yes.
but couldn't you just bring up your ISO and?
Could I bring up my ISO? Sure. That's definitely an option, but I never want to bring up my ISO unless I need to, you know, because I want the cleanest possible image. So base ISO for a camera is going to give you the cleanest image.
But with the new cameras, new color science and whatever you want to call it.
Right, with new cameras.
Don't you have the ability to have like?
Okay, so let me just, so I know your question. So let's say I have the best, newest camera. I have the Nikon Z6ii, right? That's the pro level best camera. And I shoot at ISO 100, or I shoot at ISO 3,000, let's say. Which one is going to have less noise?
I've been hearing lately, they're both the same.
They're not both the same. Why would they be both the same?
They're irrelevant because
It's irrelevant because AI. Okay, so no, that's basically the answer there. So that's incorrect information. Why would a lower ISO even exist if it wasn't better for a different reason? The base ISO is always going to be cleaner. You might not care. The person that's trying to sell you something or do their video about how you don't have to care about lighting anymore might not care. But in the real world, low ISO is going to be better. Base ISO is going to be better.
Well, if you're talking about AI noise fixing in post,
Well, yeah, you could definitely.
it's a lot. First of all, it's a lot of processing time. You need a machine that can handle that. Plus, if you're someone that's working commercially, you have to deliver in a certain time frame or on spot. That's not an option. Or if you're someone that's shooting press or news, you're shooting mostly JPEG to wire.
Exactly. And also, you don't want people to see. See, this is the thing.
There's always a fix.
Whenever I'm teaching a class here, right? I'm teaching from the point of view of somebody that wants to operate in an environment that might be a professional environment. If you are just shooting for yourself and you want to take the time to do noise reduction or this kind of thing, that's all fine. If you are a press photographer and you can only get the shot at 3,000 ISO, is that better than not getting it? 100%. Is it 1,000 times better than it was 10 years ago where it was garbage at 3,000? Yes. But that doesn't correct the fact that 100 is still better, right? So I'm always looking for the best possible situation with the way I'm shooting. I'm not going to shoot a commercial project at 3,000 ISO. I just wouldn't, right? Because instead I would use flash, which we're about to see, I'm going to be able to do really simply. That's the reason why. So that's it, right? It's all relative, right?
And you'd be surprised how many times you do like noise reduction in post that's like AI, and then you go, that doesn't look natural anymore. You know, like it.
Yeah,
so
and it softens the image. It's all different things.
It's a fidelity thing, I would say. Yeah.
So just whenever somebody says it's the same, that's when I would worry about that.
Are you doing just strobe? Can you leave
I'm going to just do the strobe. Yeah, you can leave everything on because it's not going to matter. All right. Just while we're here, I want to play around a little bit. Remember we had the F8 situation, right, where we had to crank the light up all the way. So if I come back here and I turn this up to F8, right, I'm still going to be able to see her a bit, right? We already determined that, right? She's there, right? So this is not a perfect situation, but we can come in here and turn the flash on. This is a ProPhoto B30, so that's the 500 watt second light. I just have a beauty dish on it. This is going to be a hard light. I'm doing this so you can see the contrast. This is going to be a much harder, punchier light. I'm going to put it in TTL, which is automatic exposure basically, and we're going to take a shot. Right.
Totally.
Yeah, TTL went overexposed a bit, but
It bounced off of the diffuser.
yeah, bounced off the diffuser. So what we've got here is, you know, this was our light. Well, I should say this is our light without it, right? So we're seeing some bleed through, I'm sure, like right here. But all this that was black before is actually overexposed by the strobe right now, right? So what I'm going to do, just to kind of demonstrate how this can, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I'm just going to come in here and go back to manual on the flash, and I'm going to dial it down a little bit to get just slightly better exposure. Just slightly better, because we don't want a good exposure. We just want slightly better. Right? There we go. That's how I like it, right? That looks good to me. So if I come in here and I look at what would be lit, right? Here, right? Because this is a properly lit shot. Mostly her face is lit. Oh, actually, let me look at this one because this one doesn't have the, right? So that's what the hot light's doing, right? That's what the hot light's doing. That's what the strobe's doing. We can see that it's lighting on opposite sides, which means that I can come in here to my LED and I can either turn it up or down, or more interestingly to me, and one of the reasons why I like to work with LEDs is I can actually switch the color of it. So I can make it purple or green or blue. I turned the power by mistake. What's that? These are the offerings. Yes. Okay, so let me crank the saturation for a second.
One of Daniel's first videos was him rotating colors on an RGB light and naming them the entire video. So.
Yes, it's pretty cringe and awesome at the same time.
You want to kill overhead?
Yeah, if you kill the overheads. So now Again, we're going to play a game here because this is all partial. I want to see how this stuff works out. We're at f8, 200th of a second, 100 ISO. This is how we normally shoot flash, right? And when we do this, this is our purple light. It's just barely touching us, right? If I turn the flash on now, so we shoot both things, we get her back, but now we can see just slightly in the shadows, we're getting some color, right? And we can play with that, right? We can actually come into the shadows and start to manipulate. This is, you can get effects. People were messing around a few years back with like adding different tints to the highlights and shadows to make it look more like film, not movie film, but print film, right? So this is the kind of thing you can mess with here creatively with this if we want. I can come in here, I made it purple just for extreme, but let's say we want to come in and make it like, I don't know, let's make it like warmish, right? And then I'm actually going to come over here too and just turn the power up a tiny bit. Because again, I'm only at 10%. So let's make it 20%. So bring it up a stop. Right, every time you double the power, it goes up one stop. Okay. And now again, I'm going to shoot it without the flash so you can see where we're at. And now you can see we're just starting to bring it in more and more. Now we've got this kind of goldenness, right? So then we bring the flash in. I'm not changing my exposure. I'm just kind of working my lights in together, right? So instead of using a fill card, I'm starting to get this kind of yellowish light kind of coming through. The position of it isn't necessarily the best, but I'm just kind of show you how you can work them together. Does that all make sense? The other way we could do this is instead of turning the power of the light up, because let's say you don't have this almost $4,000 amazing LED. You've got something set like a good one, but not this. You could come in here and just adjust your shutter speed, right? Because we know the flash is going to stop the action, right? And we're at 200th of a second. So I can gain a couple of stops in my shadow of the LED by simply going to, let's say, a 50th of a second, right? Right, and now I'm kind of smoothing this out. You start to really see the color and stuff, right? That's because of my shutter speed, but she should still be frozen, you know, unless she moves. Then you can get a pop and blur and charge extra for that, right? So it's not like you can't use the lights together, right? And these giant panel lights that change color can save you a ton of time if you're trying to add color to something, right? Because adding color with a gel to a beauty dish, well, watch two demos ago. It can be a pain in the butt, right? It's not impossible, it works. Having the exact gel that you want at the time, switching it out the time it takes, this can save you a ton of time, right? So again, I think flash still has that place of the ultimate power where you can dominate your scene and eliminate the color of any light in the space easier than you can with any of these LEDs, even if they are better than they were. But the LED gives you that kind of edge that you can kind of add this little like sweetness, this little pop of color. And we've got all kinds of different shapes and sizes. I'm just using a panel, which is probably the most common, but another kind that's really popular now, if I can find it in Marissa's jacket. Marissa was hiding it. She had this in her jacket pocket, but I'm going to use it. Are these tubes, right? I don't know if anybody's been around long enough to remember people like taking KinoFlow individual tubes and like hanging them from things. KinoFlows, you know, were fluorescent tubes that were not very bright, right? We can do this with LEDs. We've got these tube lights. This is also a Godox product. It's a Godox TPR2 or TPR2. And we've got the ability to light her. This is clean white light, if you will, because it matches the thing. I could bring a highlight. Eric, you're sleeping. Get over here.
Come on, Eric.
Everyone clap for Eric. Be communal.
All right, so you're going to come up behind and give her like a little, don't drop it. We've already taken your credit card, don't worry. All right. I don't know why he's on that side. Where's he going? Was he not paying attention? There we go. There we go. Now raise it up a little bit. Raise it up a little bit. There you go, right there. Okay. He's in the shot. No, you're good. No, don't bring it. Keep going out. Stop. Good. Right there. Do not move. I'm just making Eric say still. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, Marissa ruined the shot.
Sorry.
All right, hold on. All right, so we've got this thing in here, and again, it's, I think actually the beauty dish is gonna kill it, so I'm gonna come this way with it. You know, I'm gonna kill the flash for a second. There we go. Let's just see what we get here. Okay, I mean, I know it's dark, but yeah, this is good though. I like this. So stand by. We like this, right? But at 50th of a second, I'm probably gonna be in trouble. So let's do a little, and this is why I don't change my settings during a demo, because it can get a little mathy, but let me just walk back. I don't want her to be, I want her to stay frozen. So I wanna go at least 100th of a second. When you are shooting with the lens, generally you wanna shoot at double its focal length and shutter speed if you don't want blur. Okay, at least double. 50mm lens, I wanna shoot 100th of a second. I know I'm on a tripod, but this is just generally a good rule. So once I do that, I can see now that I've lost a stop of light. So I want to gain that back a little bit. I'm at F8, so I can go down to 5.6. That's one stop, right? But I was dark before, so I want to add another stop. So I'm going to go down to F4. Okay, F4 and B there. Is that? No, that's not right. Okay. I'm going to turn the flash off. Marissa's going to look all professional. Eric's going to hold the light properly, and we're good. Okay, we're still a smidge dark, but I think we're getting closer. I don't want to get much brighter than this because it's an off color, right? I want my neutral to bring through and show that she's kind of warm. So I think I'm going to give myself just a touch more. And again, I could just be using I've given myself 2/3 of a stop. Okay, question in the chat, good.
Someone's asking, is anyone making flashes that are a panel or a tube?
That's a good question.
There is a stick.
There's a stick flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broncolor makes one.
So does Flashpoint.
Yeah, so it's Flashpoint?
Yeah.
Flashpoint also makes one. Yeah, so there are stick flashes. I've seen them used in product photography. They've had them for a long time. They're pretty specialized. Panel, I've never seen. Because a panel would be, you'd have to have a series of flashes. That's how the closest thing you can get to a panel. But I've never seen a panel flash. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, well, technically, if you make a softbox, that is a panel.
Right, which is what?
Right.
Right there, good. I don't know if I love this color. I'm going to drop the saturation on this light. And again, this is the power of it. I have the saturation up at 99%, because never go 100%. I'm going to bring it down to, let's say, 50%. Did it get brighter too? It got brighter. Okay. So probably, and this is because this is a panel light. Like I said, I haven't used this one before. Generally with panel lights, what you've got is a bunch of different LEDs that create the total color. So as you're changing colors, some are turning off and on. So the closer you get to just neutral, the whole light will get brighter. That's why she got brighter there. So it's a little bright for me now. So I'm going to go down to, I'm going to bring my shutter speed up to let's go back to 200. There we go. Okay, now we've got cleaner light, right? We're still a little bit warm. Eric's light's coming in on the side. Is your light up all the way, full power?
65%.
All right, get that up to full power.
Got 230 stop to go.
All right, so Eric's gonna raise the power on that light because I think it's a little less subtle than we want it to be right now. I think I'm gonna go back down to 125. Actually, I'll leave it where it is. I'll go down to 2.5, which is where we started, if you remember. It's all comes full circle. But I'm gonna turn the amount of light down. Remember when we were at 2.5 before? What was I at? I was at 10%, right? This is HSI. It's a color. It's not a gel or anything. Okay, here we go. All right, you got it, Eric, coming closer. A little closer. Right there. Okay, so what I'm doing is distance to the light, right, equals brightness, right? This is the inverse square law. So I'm basically having him bring that in, but I don't want it in the shot. So I'm just having him bring it in until it's in the shot, backing it up. So I just wanted it to come a little higher. Like that. Okay. So I just want to be a little higher so the light feels like it's coming from the same direction as you know, the top direction as it would be. And this is going to look like this. Good. Yeah. Oh, and I flash too, because why not? Why wouldn't we flash right now when nothing's set right? That's exactly what you want to do. I'm going to put that. That's like, no, people love that kind of stuff. That's fashion. Fashion.
Well, honestly, they did say you can't take a bad picture of Marissa. They said.
Oh, there you go. Bad picture of Marissa.
You can.
Done.
We could do worse.
Yes, we've done worse. Believe me. So since the flash came back on, let's get a little funky. I'm actually going to bring the flash up and put it back in TTL, but I'm going to have it underexpose a bit. Actually, I just shot without the flash so because I want to see it. Okay, here we go with the flash. Okay. See how the flash is just getting rid of all the light? This is the thing, right? The flash is so powerful, we're just going to wipe out all of this light that we're adding. Do we want that? I mean, we might. Let's bring the flash down as low as we can go. Somehow we've gotten into a, okay, I'm in TTL right now. I'm taking it out of TTL, and I'm just going to bring the flash down so it's just a little kiss of light. Because once you set a flash up, you can charge for it as long as it fires every time. There we go. By the way, back when I was an assistant working for commercial photographers, that's the kind of thing they do. They set up a flash that did nothing. It's like, what is this flash doing? Don't worry about it. The client doesn't know. It's a mystery. All right, here we go. Good. So we just got a hint of flash cleaning it up. You can see it just kind of kicking here. Yeah, but we're mixing it. So what do we have here? We basically have a giant panel light, right? With color, the way that we want it, tunable, right? Let's say that Marissa was like, oh, but I'm watching Wicked.
Yeah.
And I would like to have green on my skin because that's attractive. So yeah, she'd sing for us and everything. It'd be wonderful.
So that flash was going off at 1/10 of one stop.
Yeah, I know.
It is the lowest possible power you can possibly have out of a flash.
I know. That's how I roll. You know what's funny about that? As I take a little side hustle here. One of the things that used to denote like really good professional flashes back in the day was that they could go really low. Because a lot of flashes just couldn't. Like, this is not uncommon now. I mean, I think that's pretty low, though. I don't know if all flashes go that low, but it's like some flashes couldn't go below like quarter power. And like you're trying to shoot something with subtle flash and you're like putting ND on it and everything. Oh, man. Technology.
These kids have it too good.
I'm telling you. So she's green, right? So what this tells us is no matter how much money you spend, you can still take a bad picture. I mean, it's just like, it's not even really interesting. Here we go. The flash. All right, that's with the flash. So we can see that the LED is kind of mixing with it. Kind of lost my train of thought here. So let's mess around a little more. So I don't know. Was there a train of thought? Was there a question? All right, Eric, you're doing a good job. Let's play around a little bit more with the tube, I think. You can sit down now.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. You feeling
Thanks,
good?
Eric.
Good job, Eric. If Eric gets enough hours, he'll get SAG.
He gets student credits.
Right. So these tubelets can be really fun too, just as generally kind of a light that we can use. In fact, I think I have a very early video of us where we used like some really jank tubes that really were bad. I've used a lot of bad LEDs in my day, so you have to give me a second here. Yeah. Yeah, so what's interesting about the tube light is that first of all, it's going to make an interesting pattern if you care about catch lights and stuff, but it also just, it has this like kind of spread yet narrowness to it that kind of allows it to feel kind of punchy, but yet kind of fills itself in. So that's a lot of, word salad. So let's just do it.
It's narrow, but it can still cover a good amount of area.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to turn off the flash. For you, actually, no, I don't know it does. I don't know. He handed it to me. I don't think so. No. I'm going to say it does not come with the grip. It was just handed to me that way. Oh, that's kind of cool. We're going to make a short, this is like a perfume ad.
Ooh, okay.
Stand by.
Do you want me to do this? Okay.
Yeah, like look. No, you say I'm gonna bring the light. Just like look like like all serious. Yeah, like in the darkness. Sorry, hold on. We're doing perfume ad there. Oh.
One thing she can do is
All right, here we go. No, don't get in the light. Stay in the darkness. Back up. Here we go. Sassoon. Oh no, that was jeans, right?
oh my God, Dan.
All right.
How irrelevant are you?
It's relevant to somebody. We can see, how you can kind of like, I'm going to do like a series of shots with this. So this is kind of an interesting thing to play with, right? So we can kind of come in and again, where the advantage here is, where the advantage here is versus, let's say, a strobe, to me, is that I can see it exactly where it's going to fall, right? Like here, it looks terrible, right? So, what's that? And we can kind of create, environments. using a constant light source that's actually still clean and bright. You know, I mean, this is 100% right now, but again, this is only, I don't know, $300. That's pretty cheap. Special price for you. A circle? As a ring light? That I do not know. Uh-huh. That's a ring? Yeah. I mean, I don't know that, you know, when you say, does it come that way? I don't know that that exact model is a ring, like the exact thing, but they do have a ring light for Godox.
And there are RGB.
Yeah, I'm not
Ring
sure I would hold a ring light in my hand though, but that's an interesting,
They're completely different feels though. A tube you can actually like kind of hide in a scene and just get a spread on it, but a ring light is literally a donut, right? That you want to shoot through more. But a ring light can also be a good cheat if you need to cover a decent amount of area because it's physically a ring, because you don't have to pull it farther back.
yeah, rings are great for that kind of stuff and for fill. We've used them a bit. I've even done a video of Marissa ring light. Come close, man.
When they're not the key light.
Yeah. Okay. I know lights in the shot. I just want to get in there.
They're nice. They're using the fill light.
Okay. All right. So I'm just kind of getting myself and set it back up color wise. Okay. So we're back at 5,000. I want to work a little bit with this. So remember, this is a 4-foot, and this is one of the reasons why I think there's an advantage here. We can basically get a lot of coverage with a single light. So I'm going to have Marissa step out for a second. I'm going to turn this way. Nope, I was going to be that way. You're good. Move this close to the wall. Yeah. And what we're going to create here is kind of like, almost like a window vibe, right? Like she's standing near a window. Oftentimes people will do this with a softbox, but I think with the constant light, again, you have the advantage of being able to see it and taking up very little space. In fact, if you, let's say, like me, and you were in a studio that had windows, but it was nighttime, you know, you could put something like this really like where the window is and kind of replace the window with it. Now, the fall off is not going to be the same, but people don't know that. Like, no, and I'm serious. Like a lot of times people will be like, that looks just like a window, but windows don't look like the way you think they do, right? Typically a window is going to have a longer fall off. It's not so much that, like if you're standing near a window, yes, you'll get a big shadow on your face, but usually the rest of the room also gets light in it. With something like this, you're not going to get that, which is why putting it close to the wall and staying in tight gives us a feel like a window, if that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So let's have you like, yeah, like you're looking out the window, like maybe it's a rainy day. Is it raining? Maybe. So what's it like when it rains? What color is that? Blue, right? So here I am, and I'm like, oh, no problem, Marissa. So this time I'll do it with the color temperature. So I'm at 5,000.
The other advantage of something like this is, like he said in the beginning of this demo, with flash, you need depth of a box. This could go on a ceiling and a low ceiling, give you a good amount of coverage, and be above your scene because it's basically flush.
Exactly. And we would hang it over Marissa's head, but I haven't got the insurance for that today. We didn't get the extra waiver for the Marissa. All right, so Marissa's kind of looking out the window. It's kind of it's a rainy day. She's thinking about, you know, how she's a star in New York City. You know, she left her farm. She's happy about it. She has no regrets, see, clearly. No regrets from Marissa from the farm. She doesn't accept. Right. All right, so you're going to look towards the thing. You're thinking about it. Now, we can play around with exposure here too, right? So this is a very, very soft light, so it's going to kind of come in very creamy. So if we kind of bring it over here, I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a shallow depth of field. Now, if you work with your lens open, here's the thing, and I joke about this sometimes, as I'm wont to do. A lot of times people will get like a really fast lens, and they'll just shoot wide open because they can. They'll go, my lens is fast. Why would I shoot wide open? But even on a wall like this, it's a plain wall, there can be reasons why you want to. Your lens is typically, the more wide open it is, going to feel overall like more of a kind of a dreamy softness to it, right? The scene will, right? Sure, when you punch in, that one eye is going to be crispy sharp if it's focused right, but because the hair is slightly out, you start to get this different feel to it. So if we're going kind of a little more somber, it's a little rainy, being more wide open can actually help us work with that. So that's why I'm shooting at this 2.2. You know, obviously I could be any exposure I want, Really, any exposure. It might not be the right exposure, but that could be any exposure. Yes, if you come here. Good. All right. I gotta put it on that side of the frame because thumbnails. But we can see like how like the soft light, like the really extreme soft light, but with fast fall off, has this kind of almost like somber vibe to it, right? It doesn't have that punchy like when we shoot with the beauty dish. It just doesn't have that. It's got this kind of like drift. And it has this kind, yeah, it's like a saturated, so it's like a cloudy day, right? When it's a cloudy day, you know, when I was learning photography, they'd be like, oh, best day to shoot is a cloudy day. It's not. No, cloudy days, the light is not good. Generally speaking, you know, because unless you want that kind of somber feel, right? There's something beautiful about a sunny day where there's harsh shadows and you can work with them. It's all about knowing what works for the scene you're doing. So in this feel, this kind of somberness works, right? Now, the other thing we can do is, let's say that she's here and, you know, it's like rainy outside, but she's got her light on because she doesn't care about the environment. So she's just running electricity all the time.
It's like I left the farm. I don't care about grass.
Yeah, exactly. She has no interest in the. All right. Hold on. I know I can change the color here.
Trees, man. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to change. Oh, there we go. That's the function button. FN is function. There we go. Gels. I'm gonna give ourselves a. I'm gonna give me like a warm. These are gels that I'm flipping through. That one looks warm.
Well, Dan's doing that. You guys in the chat, don't forget to like. Dan really needs the self-validation. And hit subscribe if you're new here.
Eric
Oh, boy.
or somebody else. All right. Come on now. I need you to be a lamp.
Eric is beautiful.
Look, it's like you're in improv class here. You're a lamp. Light the wall. Yeah, there you go. Nice, perfect. That's exactly right. All right, and she's somber. She's got her light on. She doesn't care. I don't care about the environment. I'm just looking out the window because it's raining. Right. And now we have this kind of warmth coming from the other side. Back up a tiny little bit. No, back up.
What is this studio?
Yeah.
What did that giant
Turn your face
light
this way
have
slightly.
place
Let's not get into that.
there?
Right. But just the ability to kind of play with the color in a really subtle way is one of the reasons why I bring these in. So even when I'm shooting with flash, I'll use the sticks. I have a couple of smaller ones, you know, or I'll use a panel that changes color. It's something I've really started to bring into my workflow now versus just putting a gel on another flash, which is what I used to do, right? First of all, it saves my flashes for when I need them, when I want the power and I want the ability, but it also allows the scene to play out. Like Marissa can feel this light a little better. So especially if you're working with actors, sometimes a constant light can be useful in that sense, you know. Questions, thoughts, concerns? There's concerns. Concerns, but no questions or thoughts. Okay, anything you want to see this light do? You want to see special effects? Mm-hmm. You want to add the strobe. All right, we're going to add the strobe light. All right, step out, please, Eric.
Oh.
No, come this way. All right, you can sit down again. Thank you. All right, well done, Eric. All right, I'm going to start paying Eric now. He's okay, so let's add the flash in, and let's get a different feel. Okay. Oh no, I feel like we're setting up a pop and blur right now. That? Yeah, well, let me just do this first. Because now you already got me going this direction. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we did this kind of somber-y, softer light here. Let's have her looking this way and a little more of a punchy, powerful light. Yeah. Got a grid on a white beauty dish by Photo. I'm in TTL. So that should give us our exposure that we want. So I can do a lot of different things here, obviously. But in order to kind of bring this down a little bit, I'm gonna bring my f-stop. I guess I could use high-speed sync. Should I use high-speed sync? No, I'm not using high-speed sync. Nobody wants that. All right. I don't know. I asked him. All right, so I went to F5. Yeah. Everybody wants high-speed sync in their strobe, but then when you go to use it, did the flash knock off?
No, it didn't go off.
Did you physically turn it on?
Eric. Okay. Powerful.
Powerful.
And chin up a little bit and face towards me a little bit. Right there. Okay. Now, hot, still a little hot, but that's all right. So I'm just going to come in here and just adjust this so I can manually kind of bring this in. Oh, it's kind of nice. God, I love a beauty dish. Okay, so I always forget how much I like it until I use it. All right. All right, I went to manual. I'm at F5, 200th of a second, 100 ISO. Marissa blinked. She's looking up. She's powerful. Face towards me a little bit. Up. Boom. Right? And now we've got the difference between this kind of, and again, you could put a big old softbox on the flash. I'm not saying you can't. But what we've got here is maybe a use case, right? Like here we've got a crispy flash that can eliminate any light in the space. Here we've got something that we're working with the space. Now I can actually do both, right? This has been on, by the way, obviously, you can see it. Look towards the thing, powerful again. What's a powerful color?
Red.
Red.
You.
Okay. Who said chartreuse?
Sure, truth.
What just broke? Why are there menu buttons on lights? All right, here we go. Chartreuse. Okay.
Use.
All right, we're going to go red.
Clear. It's my favorite color.
Clear. All right, so we're going to go hue to red, and we'll leave maximum saturation. And we know that when we did a more saturated light before, we had to turn the power up. So we're going to kind of bring our power back up to 24.7%. Yeah, it's very pink. All right, powerful like this.
Like that? Okay.
Chin up a tiny bit right there. Okay. Right? And now we've got this kind of fire in Marissa's eyes, right?
Actually, the blue against that pink is pretty
Yeah, right.
nice. Look at that close eye. It's crazy.
Yeah. There we go. Right, and we've added color, right? This here on the left is just a flash, and now we've got this LED coming in kind of helping us shape the scene. One is not necessarily better than the other. They're different tools, and we can mix them and match them as we see fit. So let's do what Seth said, because I think that's a good idea. Let's try to use this as a background.
We should take that diffuser off now. Get the dots going.
Oh, you want the dots? Well, let's try it this way first. I was just going to be real fast about it. So this is interesting. Uh-huh. So I'm like Jim Morris, went right back to the audience. Don't worry. All right. Again, I'm going to go back to TTL. I'm going to keep everything looking the way it is. All right, so Marissa's going to look like that. Perfect. Oh, interesting. Okay, so what's happening here is the light is reflecting off the panel, right? So we can definitely do this, but we have to consider where our light's falling, right? We've got a white panel. We have a hard light hitting it. It's just light in the panel, right? So we either have to move her away from the background, or we have to control the angle of light, or more likely both, right? There is a grid. Yeah. But the light's still directly over here bouncing back, right? Angle of incidence equals angle of reflectance. So what we might be able to do, which could be interesting, is put the light over here and kind of side light her. That might prevent anything from hitting here, but what does hit might actually replicate these lines here. So let's try that because, I feel like it. I like this new setup where my back is to the audience. I'm going to do this from now on.
Forget like it's fine.
No, this is my new style.
Until he's finished.
I'm going through a phase. This is,
Thanks, Seth.
Oh, yeah, Daniel.
appreciate my artistic vision. Okay. Okay, so Okay. I'm just going for it. No sense in doing a test shot, right? Okay, a little better. So now we're seeing a little bit of the ribs in the back, which is kind of interesting. But of course the light's incredibly harsh and coming from one side. So let's see if we can get it to be somewhere where it is not hitting the background, but still looks decent. Not great, but decent.
It's not, you're not gonna go smooth on it. So then your shade needs higher pattern of the light.
Yeah.
So smooth light will higher.
Yeah, and what we can do too, by the way, if you're doing something that has lots of moving parts, we should look at it piece by piece. That's the right way to do it, right? So is the flash causing the shadow on the background? So the way to find out is to not use the flash and just shoot the background, right? And then we can see that actually looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm done. Thanks, guys. No, so basically we can see that we have those there. We could open up more, right? To make them more out of focus. That would help do it. We could turn the power up on the light. We could do what? Lighter with the tube. Okay, even better. Let me just do this one quickly. So that's a good idea, Seth. Thank you. You're going to be like, just like that. It's right there. Okay, let me just do this quickly. Yeah, perfect. Here we go. All right. Okay, so here, again, well, if Marissa hadn't messed it up, Marissa, why do we even invite her back? I'm going to lower this a tiny bit because I can see the bottom of it. Wow, that's heavy. Okay. Good thing I'm working out. All right. No, perfect. Yeah. Get it back this way a little bit. Right there. Just modeling like that guy. Yeah, perfect. All right, here we go. Good, powerful. All right. Boom, right? Good light on her. Background looks interesting. Oh, we could actually add it as a third light.
No, I kind of want to see what just like a color on a color without the strobe.
Okay, let's just, can we just finish one first? Then we'll do it. No, that's good. Let me see it. I'll use it for that. All right, so we're gonna do one quick thing, which is probably gonna be terrible, but we'll try it. Okay. All right, here we
The other
go.
way you know, right?
Okay.
Man,
Didn't really do much. Okay, so to Seth's point, do you want to hold it?
yeah.
All right. This could be kind of fun. We're going to eliminate the strobe. Remember, I've already used it, so I'm still charging for it. It's not doing much. You got to come way closer.
Oh wait, I can go up.
Well, the other thing we could do too is we could.
I can go up brighter.
Okay, yeah. Or we could turn that one down and darken the whole set. Because I can go a little hotter on this.
Try that.
There we go. Oh yeah, tune up a smidge. It's in the shop, but I think it's cool.
Oh man,
Just
really
showing
hot.
up. Yeah, it's barely showing up. Now let me open up a little bit.
Do it.
5. Okay.
Turn a little bit more,
Wow.
Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. 3.5.
Yeah.
And now it's coming in. Yeah.
That was cool.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's very
Very interesting. Now, here's what we can use the AI, or we'll just kind of take out the. I like this a lot, actually. So what we can do, let's do that, and I'm going to bounce the strobe off the walls, but Phil on the other side,
Oh, I see. Okay.
if we can get it over our head. I think we can. Let me just. All right. So what I'm going to do here, in theory, I'm just going to test it first, is I'm bouncing the strobe off the wall. It's eating it though. Yeah.
It's bleeding right through.
Yeah, it's bleeding right through,
Let's
unfortunately.
take the diffuser off.
Okay, we're gonna lose the diffuser. Oh. Aren't you glad you're looking at this? This is gonna blind you.
Take him out of the pool.
We're gonna throw this out in the crowd, and people are gonna. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, now it's like an influencer background.
People pay a lot of money at Peerspace for this.
They do. They do actually. Sadly, that's true.
I want to see what that looks like. But, oh, yeah,
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, go a little closer to it 'cause I want to see. Yeah, the red's ripping around you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sick.
It's cool. Yeah. No, I like it. I wonder if we can get
Yeah.
a little bit of light on her face. Yeah. Now if we just get like you know what we need? We need a data light. Yeah. Chin up a smidge, right there. I think I'll grab it. Oh yeah. It's very like Tron. Aren't they bringing back Tron?
Open up like a
Yeah.
stop.
Okay.
Because you're at 3.5.
Yeah.
So do
1, 2, 3. Well, 2.8 is 2/3 of a stop. Chin up a smidge, right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go. And by the way, it's crooked on purpose. No, nobody wants a straight line. Come on.
Oh, you know what it is? We're hanging
It's-
from the buckles. That's right.
Yeah.
Tell me. Right
Well, it's got to come this way. There you go.
there.
Yep. Chin up a smidge. There. There you go. That should be straight. There it is.
Totally not straight.
No, it's the same. I told you nobody wants it. It's a little straighter. I am not the one to ask about straight. You should see me hanging
We're
paper.
not going to go straight, but it's going to go really wonky, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. There's no pivot. You guys get it.
You get the idea. That's not terrible. Not terrible.
Blue or is it white?
The LED is blue.
It's a very faint blue. The problem is that when you go brighter, you lose saturation, right? So you're playing that balance game, you know? Yeah.
There's two. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Chin down a smidge. Oh, there you go. Powerful. Okay.
My ex-wife.
All right, there you go. With that, on that note,
That's pretty tough. I think that's
yeah. Yeah, so as far as this goes, like kind of the great experiment was, it actually kind of went the way I was thinking. LEDs are, I was planning this the whole time. The LEDs are getting better, right? Like the reasons that I've looked into LEDs in the past, the things that I've used for LEDs are only getting tighter. Like these panels are getting brighter, the color's getting cleaner, you're getting more power out of them. The flash is still gonna be king if you're just shooting stills because you can dominate a scene with flash, right? You can eliminate all the light or you can dial the flash back so it's just a subtle little thing. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't explore and try other tools, whether they be LEDs or pot lights or anything you pick up. Go to the dollar store and buy a light, right? Try different things, see how they work for you, and kind of build your style that way, you know? If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, this would be the time. Otherwise, hold your peace. All right, cool. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Seth will be back on Monday on the events channel. Make sure you subscribe, right? Monday?
sure.
Yes. Watch the events channel. Seth's going to put up a QR code. Oh, I was pointing the wrong way. There he is.
It's in that corner.
It's over there. Check that out. Lots of great events going on. There's some there was a great event last night and Marissa was in it as well. And there's stuff going on like pretty much 3 days a week here now inside the store. So if you guys are local, do come by. This is Marissa Roper. This is Last Ex-Witness, Seth, and I am Daniel Norton.